We're live. We're back again. Let me see. The date is the 16th. The 16th of March.
Yeah, but we're not official yet, Liv. You're still a minute before 4, so just
I'm not official yet.
you're just a little early.
I'm a little early. No, my producer's telling me I'm early and don't go early. Let me see. All right. What? Am I that delayed getting on to the thing? Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Now,
Good. Are you ready for me to?
You may go. Yes.
I can go. All right, it's the Livingston Taylor Show. Yay! Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. March 16th. Spring. Well, it's not coming here to Martha's Vineyard, but I was speaking with a friend of mine who is down in Atlanta, Georgia. And nobody does spring like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Okay, Virginia's pretty good at it too. Now up here, we do fall pretty well. But thanks for opening up the summer for us, all of you down there in Georgia. But right now, for the 48th time, it's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. Is he sinking in a boat? Is he crashing in a plane? Does he even understand that the devil loves the rain? Is he casually eccentric or actually insane? What stork brought that brain? It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. The Livingston Taylor Show, brought to you today by, as always, the great WMVY, WMVYradio.org, 88.7, listener-supported radio. And we have one of the pillars of WMVY as a special guest today, and Laurel Redington, and she'll be on in a little while, and that'll be so much fun. As well, a sponsor today. They've sponsored us before. It's a company called Deep Isolation. Deep Isolation, and what they are is a company that has a technique for burying nuclear waste. All right, no, I know that's a little bit obscure here. No, Livingston, don't do it to me. But one of the real questions that I've had that's been a fascination for me is whether nuclear fission, the fissioning of uranium-235 and the production of heat therefrom, is a reasonable substitute in boiling water for burning coal. listen, nuclear fission isn't great, but I'm very concerned, needless to say, as many people are, about the burning of coal. So I was curious what role nuclear might play in that scenario. Nuclear, of course, being stunningly energy dense. And so deep isolation is a company. One of the great problems with nuclear has been what to do with wastes. And what deep isolation does is they have a proprietary method for ceramitizing nuclear debris and putting it in mile deep in the ground, mile across horizontally boreholes into shale formations, and it's stunningly stable. And so it just becomes a question of solution and finding our way to the other side and to a fully renewable society. Also today, one of our sponsors is actually the Livingston Taylor Show. Because look what happened. We found things like we have this little logo here, the Livingston Taylor. This is a coaster. Right behind us, we have a. Hold on a second. Right behind us, we have a Livingston Taylor Show clock. Oh, do you think I like this? Yes, I do. Love that clock. And they've got mugs and T-shirts. And actually, we were going to show you a mug today, but the United States Postal Service didn't quite get it to us in time. But they will. They'll get it to us. They'll neither rain nor snow nor sleet or dark of night will stay them from their appointed rounds. So the Livingston Taylor Show mug, which seems like a very nice one, but I need to check it out before I recommend it fully. Anyhow, let me see. We got a tote bag, and there's an apron. You can get a Livingston Taylor Show apron, which I'm pretty enthusiastic about too. All right, enough of that. What? Oh, the tote bag. My producer is reminding me. Pardon?
Did you show the coasters?
I showed the coasters, but here's the tote bag, the Livingston Taylor Show tote bag. Oh God. So yeah, that's fun for us to have that stuff.
And so you go on your website, right? Go to your website.
Go to my again. How do I do?
Your website.
Go to my website. Yeah.
Say the Livingston Taylor Show. You click on that, and the whole store will open.
Okay, yeah. Livingston Taylor Show and the whole store will go onto my website, livetaylor.com, and then a whole store will pick on the Livingston Taylor Show link, and the whole store will come on. And yes, Livingston Taylor swag will be there. All right, Livingston Taylor Show swag will be there. What have I got for a song? Oh. Paul Williams, Kenny Asher. Boy, do I love this song. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So it's been said, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on a morning star. Somebody thought of it, someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Most of us under its spell. Some say that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? Have you heard voices? I've heard them call my name. Is this the voice that calls to young sailors? I think they're one and the same. I've heard them too many times to ignore them. It's something I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Oh yeah, it's St. Patty's Day tomorrow, yes? In Dublin's fair city where girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone as she wheels her wheelbarrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels. Alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, nobody could save her. Thus was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost wheels her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels. Alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Crying cockles and mussels. Alive, alive, That was just a thought of my producer. She wrote out a little sign and held that up, and it was a very.
Your fans who said, "Do something Irish."
Oh, a fan said,
Yes,
but it was your idea to do cockles
Yes,
and
that's
mussels.
right.
All right, well, good. Thanks for the suggestion. Nice. Good. Clock. Oh, what, you want the clock put back up? Yes. All right, my producer is giving me the word.
Bossy.
Yeah. That producer's, yes, my producer is bossy. And guess what? I love it. God, I love beautiful, competent people bossing me around. That's the best. Now, if I would only listen to their suggestions. Oh, what a fool I've been. Anyhow, where am I? Oh, yeah, I was going to do. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Oh, blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and burn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark night. Oh, blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you're only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Ooh, Rainbow Connection. Cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. And then a little taste of Paul McCartney in Blackbird. You know, I remember my brother James telling me a story of hearing Paul play that song. And congratulations to my brother for winning, yes, a Grammy on Sunday for that beautiful American Standards record that he made. Gosh, what a wonderful record that is. Now, obviously, first you should listen to all of my records, but when you're through with me, you can go and listen to some of those ones by James, and you'll be very impressed as well. Congratulations to my beautiful brother. All right, where are we now? Birthdays. Oh, we got a whole swack of birthdays today, and I love people thinking that they would like to celebrate their birthday on my little show. Casey Smith, birthday 3939. Wait a minute, we missed that, but yes, they begged inclusion, and we're delighted to do that here. 67 years old, Chris Hoyt. Now, Chris Hoyt happens to be married to my executive producer, whose name is Brittany Bethune. And Chris Hoyt is married. Chris and Brittany are married. And Chris Hoyt is a meteorologist. That's what he does for a living. Imagine, I love weather. I love the Coriolis effect. I love storms, clockwise, counterclockwise, high pressure, low pressure, polar vortex. I love all of it. And yeah, Chris gets to live in that and get somebody to pay him to be a meteorologist. Whew, that's good. That's good work. Joni Payne, 316. And she'll be 66 years old. Patty Curtin as well as Joni, 316.
That's today, isn't it?
Well, 316. Oh, that is today. I'm sorry. Excuse my being vacant. Joni and Patty, it is your birthday this day. Great. Martha Sellenreek, Martha Sellenreek, 320. So in a couple of days, it'll be Martha Sellenreek's 59th birthday. And a truly dear and precious friend of mine, Lene Robinson. Lene is she and I have, she's been listening and supportive of my music for so long, and she's just been a dear friend. So her birthday, 65, a mere child. And that's 3/21, the 21st of March. Lene Robinson, her birthday. All right, happy birthday, guys. Now, this is a song. It's called I'm Writing a Book. And what happened was I was watching television, and there was a person by the name of Kitty Kelly, whose MO, whose modus operandi, was writing unauthorized biographies of famous people. And she was on television promoting a book that she had written about Oprah Winfrey. Anyhow, there she was. And I remembered, wait a minute, I used the name Kitty Kelly in a song one time. And of course I had written it and completely forgotten it. And so I looked it up, and I found the song. It's called I'm Writing a Book. And I found the song perhaps slightly mean-spirited, but nonetheless, it mildly amused me, and now I'm going to play it for you. When we met, it was so much fun. That was chapter 1, and I was feeling sad and blue. Halfway through chapter 2 and chapter 3, it was misery. I could not stand no more. You were drinking my liquor and wrecking my car. At the end of chapter 4, I'm writing a book. It's an expose. I don't care if you say you're gonna sue. I'm gonna write about you anyway. Every guy in the whole darn world's gonna know about the things that you do. Well, I got my apple all burned up. I'm writing the book on you. Well, your mother came over for a weekend stay at the start of chapter 5. She was all moved in by chapter 6. It was hell to be alive. Chapter 7, I lost my house, my car, my clothes, and my TV. Chapter 8, I pay child support on 6 kids who don't look like me. I'm writing a book. It's an expose. Kitty Kelly's gonna feel like Mother Goose when she reads about the things that I got to say. And if you want a date on a Saturday night, you're gonna have to go to the zoo. Because no human being are you gonna be seeing. I'm writing the book on you. Chapter 9, I was feeling fine, and I was single and finally free. Then the drug kingpin in chapter 10, he was looking for you. He found me and I was out of traction by chapter 12, starting to feel all right. You called up and said, let's be friends. Now I got myself a sequel to write. Well, I'm writing a book. I got a screenplay too. I don't think that movie will be PG when the big screen shows the things you do. They say the truth is stranger than fiction. If you don't believe it's true, feast your eyes on any book page of this book I'm writing. I get so tired of fighting. This book I'm writing on you. Beep, 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 bop, woo, doo, beep, beep, doo, dee, dee. All right. Writing a book. Okay, now I have the great pleasure of introducing to the Livingston Taylor Show an old and a dear friend of mine, a person who has interviewed me literally dozens of times, and now I get to interview quickly. Please make welcome from WMVY, Laura Redington. Laurel, I'm sorry, my words are getting jumbled up.
Yeah,
Laurel, so good to see you.
It is so good to see you too. And I've already learned a new word on your show.
What's that?
Swack. A swack of birthdays.
Yeah, swack of birthdays. That's right. A tumbler of birthdays.
I like it. But I do have a question for you.
Well, okay, go.
You're supposed to interview me, but you got me going on the whole weather thing. What is a Coriolis? What is the Coriolis effect?
The Coriolis effect, glad you asked, is when the Coriolis effect is because of the spinning of the Earth. What happens is that when wind starts to move and the Earth starts to turn, what happens is in the northern hemisphere, it tends to turn to the left. So you have a counterclockwise flow. And in the southern hemisphere, it tends to turn to the right. There's much talk that if you flush a toilet, for example, or pull the plug on a sink in the southern hemisphere, it will run clockwise, and in the northern hemisphere, counterclockwise, because of the Coriolis effect. But actually, the turning of the Earth in the case of water in a sink would be so absolutely minute that the just the differences in the sink would make a difference. That is far more than you wanted to know about Coriolis effect.
There's never too much you can learn about Coriolis effect.
Oh gosh!
Or from you,
Laurel, talk to me about WMVY, and something that I was really curious about is with podcasts, with all the things there are live on the web. What is the place of local radio? Why is it needed? Why do we need MVY and other local radio stations?
You know, it's a great question, because I think the beauty of radio stations like MVY and is the presentation. It's the connection. There's a lot of ways you can listen to music, and we always have listened to records, or we've listened to tape recorders or CDs or things like that. And there's always been different kinds of radio out there. And I think that what radio does, and podcasts for that matter, because podcasts are also a lot of fun to listen to. It opens it up to the rest of the world who might have something to say and some really amazing creativity, but just they're not connected to a radio station and they can't do it, so they do it in other ways. But what we do at MVY is what sets us apart, I think, and why it's still so important is because you're you're engaged, you're connected to people who like music like you do. Information also, that if you're listening to another service or you're listening to something pre-recorded, you're not necessarily going to get a break in if there's something happening in your neighborhood, or if there's a road closure, or, you know, if there's a crisis in your community, a local radio station is going to immediately be a source of information. So I think it's the whole animal of human beings being in the radio station. You can call up the station, somebody's going to pick up the phone. If not, they're going to get back to you really fast.
Yeah.
They're listening, they're collaborating, they're evolving, they're growing with you. Part of your life, you become friends.
Yeah, one of the things that is a truth for me is the notion of being on these music services, these streaming services that take what I've listened to and do logarithmic directions for my life. And guess what? Sometimes I don't want a logarithmic direction. I want Laurel to say, listen, Buster, this is really great. You wouldn't have chosen it on your own, but I need you to hear it, and I need you to hear it not once, but I'm going to ram it into your ears 10 times, because this will eventually improve your life. And that's the great genius of having live human beings being impassioned about music and delivering them to us.
I like the way you think, and I like the way you, I like that a lot. That's yeah, I can get behind that, because it's that human heart-to-heart connection, and that ability to be able to say that and repeat the song and say, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Listen to this again, because this is going to be meaningful to you. And the notion that one of the great sadnesses, of course, of the internet is that it disassembled our gatekeepers. It disassembled and starved our gatekeepers of a revenue stream that enabled them to keep after us. So, wow. Hopefully we'll find a way through that. Now, how can people find MVY? How do they listen in Topeka?
You know, it's so exciting because there's so many different, we have listeners, just as a little sidebar here, in every state in the United States and 35 different countries around the world. And they get us locally at 88.7 FM.
Yeah.
In Newport, Rhode Island area, 96.5. And no matter where you are, at mvyradio.org.
Fantastic. Laurel, so good to see you as always. Just a joy. And thank you, and thanks to everybody at MVY for all those years of enthusiasm and affection for not only for myself, but for my entire family.
Always, always dear to our hearts.
All right, Laurel. Great to see you. We'll speak soon. Hey, how much fun was that? Oh, I see. I am out of time. There's one of the things I wanted to say. I was thinking about the recent passing. About the Main Point Coffee House and all the things that were part of that wonderful place in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. And I was thinking about Bill Withers. And are you also, are you?
The audio is weird, so.
Oh, the audio is weird?
Sounds like you're underwater. I don't know what happened.
Oh, sounds like I'm underwater. Okay. Well, you know what I'll do? Let me just wrap up then. Because I can do the Livingston Taylor Show theme song. We'll do Bill Withers next week. Guess what? It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. We're out of time. We gotta go. We'll be back next week, I know. We're gonna unplug the cork and let it flow. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. Thanks for being a part. What do you mean? My sound's okay now? My sound's okay. Yay! It's the Livingston Taylor Show. I wanna do that song, Grandma's Hands, by Bill Withers. I'm gonna talk about Chip Burgott's new book next week. Thanks to Laurel Redington for being such a lovely guest from WMVY on the Livingston Taylor Show. Not to mention my other sponsors, Deep Isolation, a fully practical, safe and secure remedy to the storage of nuclear wastes. How do you, what a weird thing to talk about. And over my shoulder, a clock for the Livingston Taylor Show.